So why is it called the wedding purse? Well, originally it was called a small lady's handbag. That's the name on the pattern. Well, from the very first time I saw the pattern, I knew that it would become a gift. I decided that I would build enough of these little bags, these little purses, that our future daughter-in-law would be able to give them as gifts to her bridesmaids. And it was a surprise for her. I didn't tell her that I was building them. I just decided to do it. And my thought was, well, if she doesn't like it, I'll just keep them and give them to other people or sell them or do whatever. So I started building them some time ago, one at a time, whenever I got a chance. And the one that I'm going to build in this video, I started a few months ago, and other things popped up, life got in the way, and it sat here on the bench, started but never finished. So this video will be me finishing the final wedding purse for that gift. So it is an opportunity for me to show you how I build things, and at the same time it has a little sentimental value to me as well. tell you a little bit about what I just did. Um, the final wedding purse, the pattern was downloaded, printed, and put on the leather about a month ago. Um, all the holes, I punched all the holes at that time. What I just did was I made the final cut, which was from the pattern. The pattern was taped to the leather. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have let it sit that long. It got crisp, it got crinkly. It was a little more difficult to deal with. Lesson learned. Don't do that. When you tape it down, go all the way and then cut it and you're done, and throw your scraps away. But this is the final one. So where we stand now is it's been cut. Well, first of all, all the holes have been punched, and now it's been cut. It's been beveled, and the radiuses that matter right now have been sanded smooth. So you saw me use a craft knife to cut the curves. I wasn't real clean with them because I knew that I was going to take a piece of sandpaper and clean that curve up. So really, you're just cutting it out, get it done. And then you're going to take that sandpaper and smooth it up. And then you're going to take that beveling tool and ease that 45-degree bevel into either one side or both sides. If you're just doing one side, typically that means that the back side, the flesh side of the leather, is going to be touching something else. And you don't need it to be beveled. If you're doing both sides, if you're putting a bevel on both sides, then that's a finished edge. And you want it to be rounded over so that when you finish it, and I'll show you all that in a minute, you get a nice round edge on that leather that the grain has been compacted and tightened down, and it's not going to, come up and get all fuzzy. So the edges that are not going to be sewed together, then they got finished. And let me show you what I mean by that. Let me put my eyeballs on. Okay, so this is a finished purse. This flap, that's a finished edge. And if you'll notice on what I did, the flap got a bevel on both sides, and now you can see that it's been smoothed and polished and burnished. This, however, I didn't do anything to it a minute ago, because once this gets stitched together, then you put the bevel on it and sand it smooth and get the nice smooth edge all the way around it. So it's you're wasting your time doing it right now. You have to put the piece together, and then once you've put it together, then you've got that edge right there that you have to finish. So another thing is this medallion on the front got a bevel on the finished side of the leather, but I didn't do it on the flesh side of the leather. The reason is because the flesh side is tight against the purse itself. There's no reason to bevel it. So the finish is on the outside. Same thing for the shoulder keepers or attachments. They go flesh side to flesh side as they rivet to the purse. There's no reason to do that. So they just got the outside. Now what I'm about to do, well, I've got to cut my brand and put it on. But then after that, what I'm going to do is I've got to make the strap. And this strap that I make is not a part of that pattern. I'll give you a link to that pattern down in the description. The guy I buy it from, he's well known. His name is Tony C. Diesel Punk is his website, his online presence, and he makes some incredible patterns. I have changed his pattern up a little bit. In other words, this brand is not a part of his pattern. The inside pocket is not a part of his pattern. And this strap is totally different than what he recommends. I do a little 3/4 inch simple little strap because it is a tiny little bag. And so I just don't want that big old huge strap on it. And I put a belt on it so that you can adjust, so that the final user can adjust it depending on how tall she is. It's just one of the things you figure out after you build a few of these things. People are different sizes. If you just put one strap on there and it hangs down to her knee, well, then it's not good. If you put one strap on there and, you know, she can't get it on her arm, well, that's no good. It needs to be adjustable. So that's why, right there. So what I'm about to do is my memory's getting bad, and I never made a pattern out of this. I ought to. I'm about to measure this strap. Once I've measured it, I'm going to take a piece of raw strap that's behind the camera and cut out a belt, basically, that looks like this. And then from there, we go to the next step, which is making it colored, putting the color to it, dyeing it, and making it beautiful. All right, so that's where we are. That's what we've done. The part you didn't see was cutting out the pattern and attaching the pattern to the raw piece of leather. That part had already been done a month ago, and it's been laying here on the bench. Actually, it's been laying off to the side. I just put it on the bench because I need to finish it today. So that's where we stand. Okay, so day two on the little wedding purse that we started yesterday. I just what I just did was dye the leather pieces. We're using a saddle tan for the brown and just a red for the red. Um, the saddle tan will turn out being a kind of an orange golden color, and then I'll use a red thread to stitch it all together. So the next step, once it dries, will be to burnish it, burnish the edges that need to do now before we put it together, and put a finish on the leather to protect the leather. We'll let that dry, and then we'll come back and we'll start stitching and riveting and assembling the bag and finishing it up. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. Didn't get quite as early a start this morning as I hoped, but it is what it is. Okay, well, where we're at now is um, the body of the bag is now stitched together. Um, I have sanded the final edges, beveled them, and dyed them black. Um, we're going to let that dye set up and dry, and then we'll come back and burnish that edge. Once we get that done, then we're going to put it on back on the pony and stitch the flap on. Um, and then after that, it's just a matter of putting a strap on it. We're just about finished. like our videos, hit that subscribe button. We'll keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Thank you very much.